I hope you all had a wonderful Valentine's Day, but Valentine's Day is gone, and now we've got St. Patrick's Day coming up. Let's learn how to make this cute little coin purse. Hello everyone, and welcome to Amparo Wonderland. Today we are going to be learning how to create this cute little St. Patty's Day coin purse. It is very easy, beginner friendly, and it works up really quick. So go ahead and grab your free pattern. You can find the link in the description box down below, but keep in mind this pattern will not be free forever. So go ahead and take advantage of the free pattern. Again, you can find it in the link in the description box down below. It is that first link in the box for you. So let's go ahead and get this stuff out of the way. Alright, here we got our materials. So our materials are our best friends here, the stitch markers. We need our darning needle. We need 2 different size crochet hooks. I will be using my 3.75mm hook and then a smaller hook, which is the 2.35mm hook. We need our nice sharp pair of scissors, and for the yarn we are going to be using this Big Twist colored varsity green. We need a loops and threads color gold. We need our Yarnspiration red heart yarn colored green pea, and last but not least we need yarn bee color green. Keep in mind, you are more than welcome to use any color you want, any hook size you want. The yarn, I am using all acrylic size 4, so medium sized or worsted weight yarn. And for the hooks, you can use any size, as I said, but it will change the size of your bag depending on what size you decide to choose. And you don't have to use 2 different sized hooks. You will see why I did decide to do that for this pattern. So once again, make sure you grab that free pattern down below, and let's stop talking and let's get yarning. Alright, so here we are. We are going to begin with our base color, Big Twist color varsity green, with our first hook, which is the bigger size hook, the 3.75mm hook. And keep in mind that this is going to be worked in rounds, so let's put our round counter up there. And also, this is using US terms, so just keep that in mind if you are following along. What you want to create is actually a magic ring. If you do not know how to create a magic ring, I do have a short for you available up here, or you can follow along. So all you're going to do is that you're going to grab your yarn, and you're going to hold the end of it over here, and the long end here. We're going to go around the 2 fingers. The second time you go around, you're going to create an X. We're going to go into this leg here and grab the leg behind it, do a little twist, and grab the back leg, which is actually your working yarn, and then you're going to go through that loop, and that's it. You just made a magic ring. It is okay if your end is a little shorter or longer. It's completely fine. It does not matter. It doesn't make a difference. Okay, so now that we've got our magic ring, what we're going to do is that we're going to actually work into our magic ring. So let me go ahead and zoom in here. In the first round, round 1, we are going to create 6 single crochet. In this pattern, we use all basic stitches. So I do have a basic stitch video available as well, so you can find that up here if you want to check that out before or after this, to make sure that you know how to create your stitches. Now, let's go ahead and create 6 single crochet. What you're going to do is that you're going to go into the magic ring here. You're going to go in here and yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop. Okay, you have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops on your hook, and that's a single crochet. And you're going to do that 6 times. So let me show you one more time. So you go into your magic ring, put your hook in there, you're going to yarn over, so the yarn goes over your hook, you pull up your loop, you yarn over again, and you go through those 2 loops back there. Okay, so you've got 3 single crochet, and you're going to create 6 of them. And here we are on our 6th single crochet. Do not worry if I'm working a little fast, just pause the video and I will be here, okay? So now that we have our 6 single crochet ready and done, our magic ring is ready to be closed. So to close our magic ring, what we're going to do, this is our working yarn here, which is connected to your yarn ball or yarn skein, whatever you want to call it. And we're not going to touch that. Okay, we're going to grab the other one, which is the shorter end, which is not connected to anything. And then we're going to hold the rest of our stitches here, and we're just going to pull this end here and just pull it, and that's just going to close your magic ring. As you can see, it's closing that hole in there, right? And now there is no hole. We've got a closed magic ring, and we can now move forward. The rounds that we're working on is joining rounds. We're not just working in just a spiral round. So to do a seamless join, you do not have to do it this way. If you want to do it another way, that's completely fine. But what I'm going to show you is so you don't have a little line going down your piece and you can't see where you're joined your rounds. So I'm going to open this loop a little bit so it doesn't get lost. And what we're going to do is that we're going to go into this first stitch, your first single crochet, and we're going to go with your hook into the back of the stitch, but you're just going through the regular stitch, the whole stitch, right through the back there. And we're going to grab our loop here that we just removed from our hook, and you're going to put it back on there. And then that loop, you're going to pull it right through that stitch, okay? And then you're going to pull that stitch as tight as you can to close the round there. And you're going to pull it tight, and then we're going to chain 1. To chain, you're going to yarn over and pull through that loop. And you got your chain. That does not work as a stitch. It's just like a turning chain type of thing. You're going to go into the same exact stitch. Just go right in there. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So you just made a single crochet, and we are now in round 2. So in round 2, what we're going to do, we are going to do increases into each stitch, meaning you are doing 2 stitches in 1 stitch. In this case, we are creating 2 single crochet into 1 single stitch in each stitch of this round. So we're going to go again into that same exact stitch where that single crochet is, and you're just going to create a regular single crochet. Just like that. Okay, so you got 2 single crochet in that 1 stitch, so you just made an increase. So you should have 2 stitches in 1. Let's move on to the next stitch here. We're going to go in the stitch, you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Just like that. You're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. You got another single crochet, but we're creating an increase. So go into that stitch again, the same exact one. You're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Okay, so we got 2 single crochet in that 1 single crochet, so you just made another increase. So you should have 4 single crochet in total, or 2 increases. Okay, so do that again, and each stitch, I'll do it one more time a little bit faster. So we're going into the next stitch, and you create 2 single crochet into each stitch, just like that. So go all the way around and create your increases. You should have 12 stitches in total at the end of this round. So go ahead and pause your video if you have to, and I will see you at the end of this round. Alright, so we made it to the end of the round, and we've got to do our seamless join here. So we're going to pull our loop up a little bit so that way it doesn't get lost while you're working on it. Keep in mind of where that first stitch is, and we're going to go through it through the back. So just insert your hook, just like that, and you're going to put your hoop back on there, the one that you had released. If you want to tighten a little bit, you can, so that way it doesn't get lost, and then just pull it right through that stitch. We've got our join here. We got to do our chain 1, just like that, and then go into the same exact stitch where you just did that join and do a regular single crochet. So now we have finally made it to round 3. I say finally like we've been crocheting forever, but we kind of just started. So round 3, what we're going to do is that we're going to create 1 single crochet and then an increase. And we're going to repeat that all the way around 6 times. So we just have our first single crochet here already. So we're going to move on to the next stitch and create an increase. to do the increase, don't forget, it's literally just 2 regular single crochet in the same stitch. Just like this. Try not to get your yarn all caught up like I just did. And now that we have a single crochet and an increase, we're going to go into the next stitch and repeat that pattern again. So do 1 single crochet and then go into the next stitch and create an increase. And that means 2 single crochet in that 1 single stitch. Perfect. So continue creating that pattern of 1 single crochet and then an increase in the next stitch all the way around 6 times. So you should have 18 stitches in total at the end of this round. Alright, so we've made it to the end of our round here, and we're just going to do that seamless join. I will show you one more time how to do the seamless join. You go into that next single crochet or the first single crochet from the round, and you're going to grab your hoop again. You can tighten it a little bit so it doesn't come undone, and you're just simply going to pull it through that stitch like that. It's okay if your hook comes out, you just redo it if you have to. And then you're going to tighten that stitch as much as you can, and then you're going to create a chain. And then you're going to go into the same exact stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through 2. That means you're creating a single crochet in that same stitch where you just joined, and that will become your first single crochet or your first stitch of the round. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we are in round 4. What we're going to do is this pattern. It is 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet. Okay, so let's give that a shot. So the first one is 1 single crochet. The next stitch here is going to be an increase, meaning 2 single crochet into that 1 stitch. Just like that. Okay? Go into the next one and we're going to create 1 single crochet. Perfect. So we've got 4 stitches so far. We're going to repeat that pattern again. Okay? So it is 1 single crochet, an increase into the next stitch, so 2 single crochet, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Perfect. Alright, so just continue that pattern. Again, you do that 6 times, so 1 single crochet, increase into the next stitch, and then a 1 single crochet into the stitch after that. You're doing that 6 times, so at the end of this pattern, you should have 24 stitches in total. Okay, so at the end of the round, make sure that you join, and then come back to this video, and I will show you what you're going to do for round 5. Welcome back. So you should have done your seamless join, and you should have a total of 24 stitches for this round, for round 4. Now in round 5, after the seamless join, create your first single crochet. Okay, we are in round 5 now, and what we're going to do is that we are going to create 3 single crochets, and then the next stitch we create an increase. So let's go ahead and do that. I went ahead and created my first single crochet after the seamless join, and then we're going to create another single crochet in this next stitch. Perfect. Next stitch is another single crochet, and then in the next stitch we are going to create our increase, so 2 single crochet into that 1 single stitch. Nice. There we go. So now we should have 5 stitches in total. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that one more time. So we're going to create 3 single crochet, 1 single crochet into the next 3, 2 and 3, and then we do an increase. So 2 single crochet into the next stitch. Perfect. There you go. Very easy. So go ahead and repeat that pattern 6 times. So it's 3 single crochet and 3, and then an increase. Just like that. Okay? And once you go around all the way and you create your seamless join, you should have 30 stitches in total at the end of round 5. Perfect. So we finished round 5 with a total of 30 stitches. So let's go ahead and move on to round 6. So for round 6, what we're going to do is that we're going to create this pattern. We are going to do 2 single crochet, 1 increase, 2 single crochet. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. So we just did our seamless join and our chain 1. We're going to go into that same stitch and create a single crochet. And then you're going to mark it up with your stitch marker. And you're going to create another single crochet in the next stitch. Just like that. Perfect. Now in the next stitch we're going to create our increase. So that means 2 single crochet in the same stitch. And now in the next stitch, we're going to create 1 single crochet and then again another single crochet in the next one. So 2 single crochet. There you go. And that's the pattern you're going to follow. So let's do that one more time. So you do 2 single crochet, do 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches, then an increase in the next one. And then in the next 2 stitches, we create a single crochet. Perfect. There we go. There we have it. Okay, so follow that pattern 6 times again, and you're going to have a total of 36 stitches for the round. Hooray! We did it! Yay! So we have finished, believe it or not, the base of our little coin purse, and now we're going to work our way upward. So to do that, we are going to move on to round 7 now. So for round 7, what we are going to do is that we are simply going to create 1 single crochet into each stitch. So that means that you should have 36 single crochet in total. So let's go ahead and create the first one. So go into the same stitch where you did your seamless join and create your first single crochet. Okay. There we go, and then we're going to mark it up. But before we continue creating our round, we are going to want to weave in this end. If you did not weave in the end while you were crocheting your rounds, that is completely fine. I didn't do it on purpose, so I can show you how to weave in this end. Alright, so go ahead and grab your darning needle, any darning needle that you have available. If you do not have one, you can try using your crochet hook. That's what I used to do when I did not have a darning needle. You find ways, right? Alright, so we've got our darning needle here. What we're going to do is that we are simply just going into the surface level of our circle here. And do not worry if it shows up, because this is going to be the inside of your bag. So this is the wrong side, right? This is the right side of the bag. So the wrong side, which is where your end is, we're gonna go, what I like to do, I like to go into the center portion first, so that way we can solidify that magic ring and it doesn't open up again. It doesn't always happen, but it has happened for me a few times, so that's why I like to go around in the center first. But you only want to go around once, because if you go around multiple times, you will end up creating like a little poof, and you don't want that. Okay, perfect. So now that we went around, I'm gonna work myself into like the other stitches. So just go through any stitch you want. Honestly, it does not matter. The point is just to weave in this end, so that way it is out of the way, and then you don't have to worry about it when you're working your way upward, and you don't have to weave it in at the end either. Fastening off my piece here, just want to show you how that works. And it is weaved in. This is what it looks like for me. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue round 7. So for round 7, as I said, we're going to create 1 single crochet all the way around. So you have your first single crochet from where you joined, and then create another single crochet just like that. And you're just gonna go all the way around, very easy, one single crochet into each stitch. Okay, so let me show you how to create a single crochet just in case you have forgotten. You're gonna go into the stitch, put your hook in there, you yarn over, and you pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Okay, very easy. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and come back to me, and I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do next after your seamless join. Alright, so I just finished my round 7, and for round 7, as I said, you should have 36 stitches in total. If this is happening to you where it's starting to curl up, you are doing it right. But what I want you to do, as I said, this is the right side of your bag, right? So we want to make sure that when we're working our rounds, we are working it the correct way. So we want to work it this way. So just turn your stitches up like this, and you're fine. It's going to look like a little dome, but that is completely fine because we are making a bag, a little coin purse, okay? Now that we have made it around and I showed you what you're going to do, you're going to do that again, okay? So for rounds 8 through 16, yes, you heard that right. Rounds 8 through 16, you're going to do the same thing. So you're doing a single crochet all the way around. So 36 stitches in total for each round. You're going to do it round 8 all the way up to round 16. Okay? It's a lot, I know, but don't worry, it works up really quick. So go ahead and pause the video, create your rounds, come back to me when you get to round 17 and I'll show you what we're going to do for round 17. Alright, welcome back. So we are now heading over to round 17. We joined our round here of round 16 and I did my chain 1. What we're going to do next is that we are going to create what is called a stacked single crochet. Now, a stacked single crochet, this is how it works. We're going to create a single crochet into that same stitch like we have been doing. So go ahead and create your single crochet. Perfect. So now, as you can see, we have 2 lines that create the single crochet. These 2 lines were the 2 loops that were on your hook. We're going to work into the front loop over here, or the left loop, whatever you want to call it. We're just going to go into that front part of it, okay, just like this. And then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull up a loop. Oops, I lost it. Let me try that again. I'm going to keep this on there to show you that it's okay to mess up. We are only human. Now that we have 2 loops on our hook there, we're going to finish it off as a single crochet. So you're going to yarn over and pull through both loops, just like that. Okay, and that is going to be your first stitch, and now you know how to create a stacked single crochet. Yay! Woohoo! Alright, so now for our next stitch here, what we're going to do is that we're going to create a half double crochet. To create the half double crochet, you're going to yarn over, you go into the stitch, which is the next stitch, you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, and what we're going to do is that you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops that are on your hook. Just like that. Okay? So that is a half double crochet. We're going to do that again into the next stitch. So you're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. We have our 3 loops. We're going to yarn over and then pull through all 3 loops that are on your hook there. Perfect. So now we have 3 half double crochet. That stacked single crochet is considered a half double crochet. So just continue doing that, half double crochets all the way around, and then you're going to join the same exact way that we have been doing for the rest of our rounds. Now, what we're going to do is that we're going to repeat this round twice. So at the end of round 17, just come back and I'm going to show you how to do that stacked single crochet one more time, and then you're going to continue on and do the round 18. Now I'm going to show you how to do that stacked single crochet. So you're going to go into the same stitch like we have been doing for all the other rounds. go in there and yarn over and pull up a loop and just create your regular single crochet, just like that. So we've got those 2 loops, or the 2 lines. We're going to go into the left line here and go right in the front only. Going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Okay, we've got our 2 loops there, so we're going to yarn over and finish it off and create that second stacked single crochet right on top of there. And don't forget to mark it up because this is your first stitch of the round. So go ahead and create round 18 and come back to me before you join the round, because I want to show you how we're going to join it, because we are going to change colors. Yes. All right, so go ahead and pause the video, finish this round, and I'll see you at the end. All right, here we are. So we're at the end of round 17, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my join like I have been doing regularly. So we're gonna go through the back here and grab that hoop. We can do the seamless join, just like that. Okay, perfect. So what we're gonna do is that we are actually going to fasten off this piece here. So go ahead and fasten off a little bit, not too long. You can do about 4 or 5 inches right here. And we're not going to fasten off completely, so keep it on your hook there. We're going to grab our color here, which is color B. In this case, it is gold. We're going to create that chain 1 with this new color. So you literally just slip it in there. And now we're going to work with that new color. And we're going to start off by creating that stacked single crochet that we did for the last round, because we are going to do another round of half double crochets. So go into that same stitch where you already slipped stitch. And what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to grab my pieces and put them over my hook like this, because I want to weave in my pieces as I go. So now you can go ahead and create a regular single crochet. So go ahead and yarn over and pull through 2. As you can see a little bit better with this one. So we have our 2 loops here. We're going to work into this left loop here in the front, just like that. You yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. And that's going to become your first stitch of the round, just like that. And now we can go into the next one. We're going to yarn over and create a half double crochet. So go into your stitch. Make sure the ends are on top of your hook here so they can be weaved in as you go, and that way you avoid weaving in your pieces at the end. So we have the 3 loops. We're going to go through all 3 loops after yarning over. Okay, so do that again. Yarn over, go into the next stitch. Make sure the ends are on top of your hook. Yarn over and pull up the loop. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so just continue doing that all the way around, and you're going to have a total of 36 stitches, just like you did for the last few stitches or rounds that we've been doing. Okay, so go ahead and continue. So pause the video, and then I will show you what we're going to do for the next round, which is actually going to be our last round for this portion of the bag. So we're almost there. Okay, so pause the video and I will see you at the end of this round. Alrighty, we've made it. We are in our last round now. I'm gonna go ahead and join my round here. Now that I joined, I'm gonna go ahead and chain 1. We're gonna work a single crochet into that same exact stitch, which is what we have been doing. Just do 1 single crochet, and you're going to mark it up with your friend here, and this will be your first stitch of the round. And now the next thing we're going to do is that we are going to skip the next stitch and work into the next one, and we're gonna do 5 double crochet into that 1 stitch there. To create a double crochet, we're going to yarn over once. We're gonna go into that stitch, so you skip this one, go into the next one, right in there. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So you got 3 loops, just like if you're doing a half double crochet. But to do the double crochet, we're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops that are on your hook. You got 2 loops left, so you're going to yarn over one more time and go through those 2 loops. Okay? So that's a double crochet. You're going to do it again. You yarn over, go into the same exact stitch. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. You got 3 loops. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so that's the second double crochet. We're going to do that 3 more times. I'll show you one more time. You yarn over and go into the same stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. You yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so we've got 3 double crochet so far, so let's go ahead and create our last 2 double crochet. You can pause the video if you have to, just in case. And now what we're going to do is that we're going to skip the next stitch and work into the next one. So skip here, go in here, and just create a regular single crochet. Perfect. So now we've got a little coin looking thing, or it's called the scalloped border, if you want to know the name of this. We are creating a scalloped border. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. What we're going to do is that we're actually going to repeat that pattern. So we skip the next stitch and go into the next one, and we're going to create 5 double crochet. So yarn over, skip this stitch, go into the next one, and create your 5 double crochet. This is 2. Here we go, we've got our 5 double crochet. And what we're going to do is that we're going to skip the next stitch. We're going to work into the next one and create a single crochet. So go right in there, you pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. Perfect. Okay, so you're just going to continue creating that pattern, and you're doing that pattern 8 times. That shell or coin or fan or scalloped, whatever you want to call it, you can call it whatever you want. And you're just going to continue that pattern. Again, if you want it written, you can find that free pattern down below in the description box. Okay, so don't miss out on that. Okay, so I'm going to continue making this round, and once you do the 8 shells, just come back, and that way I can show you what we're going to do for the last one before we finish the round. Alright, here we are at the end. We have one more scalloped to do, so we're going to go ahead and create the 5 double crochet in that stitch there, and don't forget to continue the pattern you've been doing of skipping 1 and then creating your 5 double crochet. Okay, so I'm going to finish creating my 5 double crochet here, and I'm going to show you where we are going to attach our last stitch, which is the single crochet. And as you can see, we're at the beginning here, so instead of going into the next stitch of the next round, we're going to actually go into the same stitch where you started the round in here. So you're going to put your hook in here right there, and then you're going to yarn over and pull up that loop. There you go. And then we're going to finish that single crochet just like that, and we're done. That's it. We finished the round. To finalize it, you can chain 1, and then we're going to fasten off. You want to fasten off with at least 4 to 5 inches or so that way you can weave in that end. So to fasten off, you simply just go like this, and there you have it. Now you're done with the bag portion. Alright, so we have our base of the bag all done and ready to be decorated, okay? If you're enjoying this pattern so far, definitely give it a thumbs up because it really helps me out figure out what you all like to follow along with and what you don't like. So let's put our bag aside and let's grab our color C, which in this case it is green from the brand Yarn Bee, because we are going to create our clover. So for our clover, we're going to use also our smaller hook, which is our 2.35 millimeter hook in this case. Again, you are more than welcome to use whatever yarn color you want and whatever hook you want to use as well. So let me look for my end here. Got it. Took me a little bit, but I got it. See, look at all this yarn. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are starting off with a magic ring. So let's go ahead and create that magic ring. You can follow along like this, or you can create the magic ring whichever way you know how to make. Some people like magic rings, others don't. Me personally, I love magic rings. I think they're fun to make once you know how to make them. So now we've got our magic ring here, okay? And we're going to create 3 chains. This is a very easy pattern, just like everything else. So create 3 chains, so that's 1, 2, and 3. If you want, you can mark it up, but in this case, there's no need because of how the pattern is worked. Next thing that we're going to do is that we're going to create a triple crochet. To do the triple crochet, or also known as treble, you are going to yarn over twice, like that. You're going to go into your magic ring, and then we're going to yarn over once and pull up a loop. Now we have 4 loops on our hook here. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2. You yarn over again and pull through 2. And we yarn over one more time and pull through 2. And there you have it. You've got yourself a triple crochet. Now we're going to work a half double crochet. So you yarn over, go into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop. You got 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops like that. Perfect. Now we're going to repeat another one of triple crochet. So you yarn over twice, go into your magic ring, you yarn over once and pull up a loop. You got 4 hoops or 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, then yarn over and pull through the last 2. Perfect. Now we're going to finalize this first leaf by creating 3 chains. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to work into our magic ring here. We're going to create what is called a slip stitch. So we go in there, you're going to yarn over and pull up the loop, and that loop is going to go right through that loop in the back of that is on your hook already. So pull it right through, and that's it. So that finalizes the first leaf, and you're going to repeat that pattern 3 times in total. Okay, so as you can see, we kind of have that little leaf there. Go ahead and create your last leaf and then come back to this video and I'll show you how we're going to finalize our cute little clover. Excellent. So we have our 3 leaves here, and what we're going to do before we continue is that we're going to close our ring. So go ahead and pull on that shorter end to close the ring. Now you have your 3 leaves together. As you can see, it looks like this. It's so cute and adorable. We're gonna continue this 3-leaf clover by creating 5 chains. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're gonna turn our work and we're gonna work back on those chains again. And what we're going to do is that we're simply going to do a slip stitch starting on the 2nd chain from the hook. So not the first one that is here, we're going to go into the 2nd one here, and you're just going to go right in there and just create a simple slip stitch like that. Okay, so go all the way down, and that should be 4 slip stitch in total. This is 3, and then my 4th slip stitch. And to finalize this cute little clover, we're gonna create 1 more slip stitch into the center of our magic ring here. It might be a little bit tight, but that's okay. You can still fit your hook in there. And just slip it just like that. And work your hook towards the back of your clover so that way you can create a chain. And then we're going to fasten off. When you fasten off this clover, you're going to want to fasten off a long string because we're going to use this string or yarn end. We're going to use this end to sew the, yes, there's going to be some sewing, I'm sorry, to sew the clover onto our bag here. So go ahead and do like maybe 8 to 9 inches or so. It's not that big of a clover, so you shouldn't need too much of a yarn end. And then you fasten off like so, and now you have your cute little clover here. Now that we have our clover done, we're going to move on to our drawstring. So grab your color D right here. And what we're going to do is that we're simply just going to create chains. And the number of chains is 70. So first, though, you got to create your slip knot. So if you don't know how to create a slip knot, I do have a short for you up here, just to start off your slip knot knowledge. And now we're going to chain 70. And don't forget, we're using the same small hook because we want to make sure that the drawstring fits around the inside of the bag. I'll show you what I mean by that later on. So go ahead and create your 70 chains. Fasten off, and then you're going to create a second drawstring. So do that 2 times and then come back to me and I'll show you how we're going to assemble our cute little coin purse. And it's done. We have a drawstring and I've actually made my second one as well. So I am ready to assemble the coin purse. Okay, so let's take care of that. Okay, so I have all my things here. I have my clover and my drawstrings available. To begin, you want to fold your bag like this in half. In the back is going to be my joining stitches because I don't want those to be in front and center. You can do whatever you want in this case. And now what we're going to do is that we're going to place our cute little clover wherever you want. I like to place mine in the round 13 section, so that way it's more on the center part of the bag. And now we're going to grab our longer end. Do not worry about the shorter end. We're going to stuff it into our clover while we are sewing, so that way it gives it kind of like a little bit of a poof, and you don't have to worry about weaving it in. So I am satisfied with my clover being here, so I'm going to go ahead and start sewing it up. To sew, what you're going to do is that you're simply just gonna literally just go into one of the stitches. I like to work myself into the back of the stitch instead of the front of the stitch, so that way you can't really notice what you're doing. I'm just gonna go in and pull it through like so. And I like to start with my leaves first, and then I'm gonna end it all with the stem here, and I'm gonna work my way around this way, so from the right side of the clover all the way around counterclockwise till I get to my stem here. So I have my needle on the inside, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and work myself into like the next stitch here, but from the inside. So we're gonna go in here. It's kind of like a trial and error situation here because you can't really see where you're going, but you're just gonna feel it out and just go back and forth like that. So I just went into this stitch here. I'm gonna go into the next one and just work my way in there. Just go back and forth just like that. And now we're gonna go back in here and go into the next stitch. As you can see, I made it to the next stitch here. And we're working in the back or in the center of the stitch, whatever you consider that. So work in the back loop only, basically. Just like that. And you're just gonna keep going around all the way until you have your whole clover attached. I'm on my last leaf here, and what I'm going to do before I continue is that I'm going to grab my other end and just simply stuff it into the center of my clover, so that way I don't have to worry about weaving it in, and that's it. It's that simple. So go ahead and continue to sew your clover in here. You can pause your video and continue sewing up your clover just as I am. Alright, so I've got my clover all sewed up in here. What we're going to do is that we're going to finalize it by weaving in this end, but I want to show you how to weave this piece in because we want to actually tie it up and not necessarily just weave it in. So you can start weaving if you want in the center section in here, just to make sure that it really doesn't come undone. Alright, so I weaved in my piece here enough for my liking. And now what I'm going to do, as you can see, I finished my weaving in this stitch over here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, hang on. So I finished my weaving in this stitch here, the surface level here. So I'm just simply going to go into that same exact stitch to the best of my ability. We're going to create a knot by stopping here. And you're just going to put your needle right through the center of that little loop there, and then you can tighten it, and that creates a knot. And you're going to do that again a second time, so go through the same exact stitch as close as you can, and you're going to do the same thing. Stop here, go through the loop like this, and then continue to create that knot. You can do it a third time if you want, if you feel like it's not safe, but I think it's good here, so I'm going to go ahead and fasten off as close as I can to the knot, and that's it. We finished with our cute little clover, just like that. It's all done. So now we can take our drawstrings and we're going to weave this back and forth through our first round of the half double crochets, which is actually round 17. So in round 17, we're going to weave this back and forth. We're going to start over here on this side. So I have it folded for that reason exactly, because we're going to have it go around like this on one side, and then we're going to do the other drawstring going this way. So let me show you really quick. I personally like to use a crochet hook here for this part, but you are more than welcome to use a darning needle if you want. But I did realize that when you use a darning needle, it could get caught into the rest of the threads of the yarn, and I personally do not like that. We're going to work onto this side here first on the right side, and I want the drawstring to wrap around like this. So I'm going to start by going into this stitch right here, and I'm going to put my hook in there, and I'm just simply going to grab my drawstring and just pull it through. You can use a bigger hook or whatever is easiest for you. So you're not going to pull it all the way through because I actually want this to be wrapped around this way. So I'm going to pull it like this instead. So as you can see, our stitches are here. This is one stitch right here. This is the second stitch. We're going to work our drawstring through this stitch here, this space. Just pull it through like that. Okay, so now we're going to continue that process of skipping 2 stitches and pulling the drawstring through this all the way around until you get to this section over here on the other side. The last one, you want to have it facing on the outer side. So we're going to skip 1 and go into this stitch here. Just like that. Okay? So you want to go ahead and do that on the other side. So repeat that process of going in and out. So you have your drawstring going in this way, so you skip 2 stitches here, and then you're going to go into this hole here and grab your drawstring. Where is it? Here it is. Okay? And you're just going to go all the way across so that way you can end up here in this stitch right there. Okay? So go ahead and continue, and then I'll show you how we're going to attach the second drawstring. Alright, here we go. So as you can see, we have 3 stitches lingering there, which is completely fine because we want to have both of our ends facing outer on the outer side of our bag. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to grab our other drawstring here, and we're going to go through those same stitches there so that way it can be even with the rest of the bag or the rest of the other drawstring. So go ahead, go through that stitch and pull your second drawstring through like that, and then do the same thing on this side so that way it's ready for you. So go through that same side of that drawstring, the second side, just pull it through. So okay, so now you're gonna continue the process of doing the 2 and 2. So you should have the drawstrings in and out in the same spots as the other drawstring. So do one side first and end it here, and then do the other side of the drawstring and end here. So you want to have it even on both sides. And there we have it. We have our drawstrings attached. So now what you can do, you can leave the drawstrings like this, or you can tie a little knot on both sides, which is what I like to do. So that way it kind of like makes sure that it doesn't come undone and the drawstrings don't come out and stay in place. Just like that. And then you just cut off as much as you want or as little as you want. And I'll leave a little bit of a end there. Now I can go ahead and cut off the excess here, the same length as the other side, and that's it. It is all set. You can now tighten this and you can use it as a little coin purse, or you can keep it open if you want, whatever you want. You put things in there, you put coins, you can put just little trinkets and such, and then you can just tie it like that. It's so cute. I love it. So there you have it. Now you know how to create this cute little St. Patty's coin purse. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, let me know, what did you think of this pattern? Was it easy? Was it a little more hard? Was it beginner friendly? Was it clear enough? Was it not clear enough? Just anything. Let me know because I want to make sure that I create videos that are easy for you to follow. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, then you are going to love this video right here, where you can incorporate what you've learned in this video and create different types of bags. So I will see you in that video, and if not, then I will see you in the next one. And as always, thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye!